Hear me out now. Turn it up loud. Coach Delson, Coach Butts. We gon' break it all down. Hear me out.
Welcome back to Hear Me Out with Elzy and Butts. I am Butts, and we are ready to dive into another episode.
So glad to be back for another episode. We have some hot topics to talk about. Let's dive into it, Coach. So, why does everyone seem to have their life figured out except me? I was definitely having this conversation in the office today. Do you ever feel like you are behind in life? Just in general, not socially, emotionally, work, anything.
It's that feeling of always having to catch up, right? You feel like you're behind the eight ball. You need to do this, you need to do that. You're kind of spinning, right? You got so many things going on, so many irons in the fire, but I feel like that a lot less now since I'm semi-retired.
Well, I was just talking to one of my coworkers at work. We were having this conversation. It's crazy. We were talking about the last 3 years. And literally, we started at the same time at Duke. And she sat in my office our first year. And I said, I feel like we are drinking from a fire hose, right? We are trying to get settled at work, trying to figure out where we stand, where we sit, how to unpack our office, all things with work. And I remember telling her, I was like, nothing is settled at home. I have boxes everywhere. I'm trying to figure out where I'm driving, getting our son to school, all the things. And then she sat in my office today and I looked at her and I go, do you believe we are on year 3?
Time goes so fast.
I don't know what happened. So I thought the first year, because I was in survival mode, I don't know where year 2 went.
Well, the one thing we do know, it's gone.
It is gone.
And
we're going into year 3. But hear me out. Has anyone, I felt like when you were growing up, time was so slow. Like you couldn't wait for your 10th birthday, your 13th, 16. Christmas took like a lifetime. And now I feel like everything is moving so fast.
Well, it's going in twos. I always say once we turn 40, my birthdays, they seem like it's going in twos now. So time moves so quickly before you know it. We were having a conversation. I don't know if you remember this. We were freshmen in college and we're sitting at the table at Gibbs and we're thinking, my goodness, what have we got ourselves into? And we were sitting that very table saying, before you know it, where will we be in 4 years? Where will we be in 10, 15, 20? And we have reached all of those milestones. And it just seems like it was yesterday. It's just,
right.
It moves.
It moves. And do you feel like, and hear me out, viewers and listeners, I know some people are our age or older or younger, it doesn't matter. But now when you're adulting, right, it feels like you have so much responsibility. And I feel like we are in those sandwich years, as you want to call it, raising kids, the pressure of work, trying to have some me time so you don't lose your absolute mind. If you're married with significant others, aging parents, I just feel like this is the time that there are so many things going on. And I read that this is the time that most females during this time become the most depressed during this age group.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. But there is a lot happening. I mean, and everything now is so public. So not only, and some of that is self-created, right?
All my hear me out listeners, taking care of aging parents, that's different as well. As they're growing older, you're trying to spend more time. Also, you see them slowing down. They still want to fight for their independence, except there's still things that you need to, kind of help them with. And that in itself can be a whole discussion. It's truly life comes full circle, right? So the people that raised you, took care of you, taught you how to read, dress, talk, all the things, you're now kind of taking care of them, which is, I just can't believe we're actually in that age range now.
Right. You know what? It's so crazy that you say that. Now, it used to be when you were younger, all of your appointments, right? Your doctor's appointments, your mom, your dad, whoever, your aunt, somebody made sure you were getting to those. What did they say in the doctors? They had all the information. Now you're asking when your parents go to the doctor, hey, what did they say to you exactly? Let me get the information. What time's your next appointment? All of the things that they used to do for you, you are now monitoring, if not completely doing it for them.
Absolutely. And so, to all of our listeners, what are some things that you are experiencing during this age crunch? And then just trying to balance it all. How do you balance it all? Is there such a thing as balancing it all? I feel sometimes I'm at work and I'm locked in and I'm like, I have these 10 things to check off. And I know, go ahead. I know, no. You're not supposed to write 10 things on your checklist. But the ADHD person in me, I have 10 things on my work checklist, 10 things that I want to do for myself, and then 10 things that I need to do personal for family.
That's a lot of things, Coach.
And
like
then
30.
Exactly. I'll literally have 30 things on my checklist. I know there are some listeners out there that are this way. And then at the end of the night, I'm totally dejected because I probably only checked off like 5 things. Now
I'm
there's
lucky
an
if I get
invisible
one.
checklist.
If I get one thing, 2 things, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm super lucky, so I'm happy with it.
One. Really?
1, 2 things that I get done and get them done well. I'm so excited. Like, that's good. I got my grass watered. I worked out. I had a good quality meal, whether I cooked or whether I went to eat or I watched some of my TV shows. I'm good.
Wow, that is so fascinating.
Talk to my friends. You know what? It's hard to disappoint me. I don't
That is
get
so
disappointed
fascinating.
when I don't make these lists that they're impossible to get to. It's
I know.
impossible to get to 30 things.
It is. It's impossible, but you can strive to get there. And then there's the satisfaction of checking things off. To all my OCD people out there, there is a satisfaction of like checking the things off. It gives me like an adrenaline rush to check something off the list. Now I am dejected when I don't get them checked off. So I'll lay in bed and I'll say, I didn't get anything finished because maybe I only checked off 8 things of the 30. But then I'll put the same things back on it the next day to try to get them done.
Why don't you just start with 8 instead of 30?
Because then I feel like I have not had a productive day. I know. I know there's some listeners out there. I just feel like I did not have a productive day because I feel like I can get so much more done. I know you're not supposed to do that, but that's just how my mind works. But I know there's someone out there listening who enjoys a checklist. Like I want my planner color coded and I want to check the things off. So maybe I should be more like you and maybe do 1 to 2 things. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying my approach is accurate, but I feel a lot better at the end of the day than you do, apparently.
Well, apparently. So we've talked a lot about this, but what are something that you still feel like you're figuring out in your late 40s?
Oh, wow. Figuring out. Probably life. I mean, listen, we are still learning. It's like learning on a job, right?
It is.
Things are different. Everything changes. things are not as they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even 1 year ago. So, you have to adapt with your environment. You have to adapt with different things that are happening. So I just feel like I'm still figuring out life. I mean, I think we all are in
Well,
some respect.
clearly, we all are still figuring out life. But I would say things that I'm still trying to figure out, as I just talked about, work-life balance. We always talk a lot about self-care, but I want to put a pin in it for my mothers. I, you know, Motherhood is the most rewarding thing. I couldn't imagine my life without it. And there's nothing wrong if you don't. But for me, being a mother is what I wanted to be. But also, it's one of the hardest jobs on the planet. The responsibility of you caring for another human and making sure you are raising them properly so they can be productive citizens, mannerable, educated, kind, all the things, right? And I was actually talking to another mother. So it's fascinating to me to talk to mothers because sometimes we don't want to talk about the struggles of motherhood, which, I mean, most people don't. But it is a thing.
Well, I don't have those stresses, so I'll let you take this one because I only come in and do the fun things and
Exactly. You get to
the
be the
occasional,
auntie.
words of uh, encouragement slash discipline slash what are you doing? Sit down.
Yeah.
That's not my ministry. So I'll let you take this one.
Well, I'm just going to ask to the Hear Me Out listeners and viewers, what are some of the struggles that you're experiencing? Because I feel like at all ages, they come with different challenges. A lot of reward, a lot of good, but what are some different challenges people are facing? For me, I have a 10-year-old son that's active, hyper,
That may be an understatement. Active is
but
probably not,
just wild. All
you
just
know,
put it rambunctious, all the things. So I feel like as a mother, you know, having to go talk to his teachers, not just if something's going wrong, but like parent teacher conferences. To all my mothers out there, do you feel any type of anxiety going to parent teacher conferences? Because I sit behind because you have to be realistic about what is happening. You have to be truthful about what is going on. And
right.
I feel my anxiety riding to the top, like, oh my gosh, what are these people going to say? Is it a knock on how we're parenting? Or is it just like specific educational decisions that you have to make? And are you making the right one?
Right. I mean, I could imagine. Obviously, I don't have that pressure, but I could imagine how that would be for a parent that is, maybe has some anxieties about how their kid will perform in school. Not only that, how they are getting along socially in school. Are people picking on them? Are they picking on some other kid?
Yeah.
Do they feel like, how they are adapting to their environment? So I definitely could understand that.
All right, we're back to Hear Me Out listeners. Nobody talks enough about the cost of success.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's dive into that, coach. When you hear me say that, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
You know, I, Honestly, for me, I've heard a lot of people talk about, especially folks who are from, when I think of success, I often equate it with, and it should not be, because it doesn't always have to be equated with financial success, right? Some people equate it with that, and then I've seen a lot of different podcasts and different people talking about when you make it financially, and a lot of it's because I'm watching stuff with professional athletes,
Mm-hmm.
entertainers who, sometimes come from maybe a background where they're the first person to financially reach a level, right, where they can really feel good about themselves, do some things that they want to do in life, right? And whenever they want it, and you
Right.
feel that comes with a price, right? Because everybody's going to be kind of tugging and pulling. When do you say no? How do you say no? How do you feel like you come off to your friends or who you think are your friends or even your family for that matter? Some people have a really hard time adjusting to the idea of being successful. What level I achieve education wise sometimes can make people feel differently about you. Sometimes it can change the way you present and you show up in society, which is in some cases good, in some cases bad. So I think it's really, there are levels. I
Yeah,
think
there
it's
are
deep.
levels
So
to it.
I think it's kind of which angle you want to go at.
So as you watch these professional athletes and or business people or just in general, you have whatever your career is, it has allowed you to be successful. You know, we talk a lot about the family and friends. What are some of your takes on, okay, you've made it to the level that you would, I don't know, say you feel comfortable enough that you can help others.
Correct.
What is your philosophy on kind of who you help, how you help, and, you know, do you expect if you pay out financially to get it back? What is your philosophy on that?
Wow, that's a tough one there. I think you have to, number one, you have to have some boundaries, right? I think early on, I always try to help people, even now, when I can. But you have to start learning, sometimes the trouble comes when you expect back, right? So I had to make that adjustment. Give when you can, right? When you're
Yeah.
comfortable with giving, depending on how much that is and how much somebody's asking you for, and you have to set that aside. And once you reach that, I think it's very hard to say no, but I think you have to say no because even though it's not the same, it may not be the same person coming, it's still another person. And sometimes people feel like, well, I haven't asked you for anything, or, this is the first time, or this, but it's not the first time you've been asked for something. And I don't think people understand that. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
people feel like you have all of these things when honestly, even with the people who are can be mega rich, financially
Mm-hmm.
stable, even they don't have it to just give you like you may think. Because
Oh,
oftentimes people are living to what they're making
yeah.
and the means that they have coming in, just like the next person who is making, 40,000, that person making 200,000 is often maxing out that 200,000 and doesn't have that huge of a gap. So I think to bring it back to your point, because I'm getting a little long winded here, I think it can be tough, but I think you have to kind of decide, how you want to help, when you want to help, and it needs to be on your terms, period, no matter what people
Absolutely.
think,
On your
period.
terms. You know, I have the same philosophy as you. I'm willing to help. I'm going to help, but there are boundaries. And, you know, one thing that I started is if you come to me once with a big one, I'm probably going to give it to you, but you're not coming back. So when you come, you better come because you absolutely need it. And I'm going to give it to you, not expecting it back because that's where you set yourself up for failure. It's a gift. Don't expect it back. If you get it back, that's a bonus.
Right.
One. Two, I feel like um, sometimes with some of the younger ones in my family, if they're asking for things, if they're going to school or they're working and they're trying to do
Absolutely.
the right thing, I do not mind helping because we have to go back and help others just like people helped us. Now, what I will do, I'll say, okay, what is it you're trying to get? So, for example, they'll say, I'm trying to get a car. It is X amount of dollars. Great. I'm all in with helping you. How about we do this? You work all summer or you work for X amount of months, and I will match whatever you make. And I have found they usually do not come back.
They don't come back, right?
Isn't that funny? They usually don't come back if you say you're going to match it. So that shows me, how much do you really want it, or how much do you really need it? Because if I was just going to give it to you, you absolutely wanted it. If I said, you have to work and then I'll match,
thinking.
Maybe they don't want it so much.
I like that one. I think you're absolutely correct in that approach. And sometimes, with family, especially, and this is for everybody. Listen, this is a tip. This is a pro tip. If you're going to be asking people for stuff, right? And there's nothing wrong with, because listen, I encourage it. If you need help,
if you need it,
ask. But that, you can't be disappointed if you don't get it. Sometimes people just can't do it. I can't do it. Like I tell people now, listen, I'm on a fixed income. I don't have a regular job anymore. So these things, but just don't wait till it becomes massive.
Right.
And I know sometimes your pride or whatever gets in the way, but when you need, $100, I would ask then. Don't wait until it's 500 or 1,000 or 1,500. It's like, sometimes we, and I say we because human beings, right? We're prideful. We want to work it out. We don't want to bother people. We don't. But if you have, not even just family, but a circle of friends, I would like to think that if I got in any type of trouble, this is whether it's financially or whatever, I needed a ride, it doesn't matter. I would like to think I've built up enough goodwill to where I can ask my friends or my family, and I wouldn't feel any type of way about it because they know they can always come to me. And if I could do it, if it was within my power, that I would try to do it or try to help them reach some type of resolution and what they needed. So I just think, don't wait until your problems get really massive to ask for help, right? If it's $50 that can get us there, that extra light bill money, ask me for the 50, not the 500.
Not the 500. I agree. And my pro tip is, don't assume just because you think someone has it,
right, that
makes them obligated for your responsibilities.
Ooh, that's a big one. That obligation.
Because
and you see that all over. You hear about it, right?
All over. So that's just a tip. People that you might assume has it, that they are not obligated to your responsibilities. And people don't mind helping, but I'm going to do X, Y, and Z because it's fun and I wanted to do it versus I needed to do it. But then you think you're going to step over and be like, well, now I need to pay this and I need you to step in. But what was your plan beforehand?
Right. I think that's a big thing. And, especially I see it a lot on social media. Everybody has their opinions when, there were some famous rappers from Memphis area. I won't call their names, but one, sibling thought the other one owed them money. And I just because you are my brother or my sister or my aunt, my mother, I don't think anybody is obligated to do anything for you. I think whenever you're coming from a position of kind of somebody owes you something, right? You're owed something. I think you're starting off from a bad spot. People may very well, because they are close to you, they are your sibling, they are your mother, your aunt, your cousin, they may very well do it for you, but absolutely, they're not obligated. When you come in with a position to say, you owe me this because you are my family or because you are my brother, because you are my sister. No one is obligated to take care of you. No one. You're an adult.
I agree. So while we're talking about the cost of success, What is a dream you've let go of?
Ooh,
Think about this
wow.
one, Coach.
That's really deep. That's really deep. Is
Well,
this
that's why we're diving
career,
in.
professionally,
In general, what's a dream that you
personally?
have let go of?
Ooh, a dream. Ooh, I don't know if it's so much of a dream. Like I was like every day, like, oh my God, I want this. I want this. But I used to say, someone asked me the other day, do you want to have kids? Because, I don't have any biological kids. I always call your kid is my kid.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
other
You have
friend, I
several
have
God
6
kids.
God kids. They're my
Mm-hmm.
kids. I
They're your
count them,
kids.
right? They're on my paperwork, so they count. But I don't have any biological kids. And I used to say, I would like 2. I wanted to have one and I wanted to adopt one.
Okay.
Now I don't say anything.
Well, it's not too late.
It's too
It's
late.
it's not too
It's
late. I just saw on social media a lady was
let
64
stop you
years
there.
old.
Let me stop you there.
It's not too
It's
late.
too late. It's too late. And if she was 64, it's probably a little late for her. But listen, everybody does what they can do whatever they want, right? But so for me, that dream is done.
Okay.
It's the kitchen has shut down. Uh, Cooks are no longer cooking. we're we're closed,
Oh, you're
right?
close.
So we're closed. So for me, I would say, that dream of having a kid, even adopting at this point, unless it's a 18-year-old that I happen to uh, that happens to cross my path, and we'll talk about that.
Okay. Well, I think I could follow you on a dream that I've let go. I always thought I was going to have 3 kids, have Jackson. And I was reading something. I read too much and I overthink everything, as you know. And it was saying um, regrets of being
Mm.
a single child household.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, in my feelings, I was like, what if Jackson grows up? He doesn't have any siblings in the house. He's bored. He looks around at all of his other friends. They all have siblings.
Right.
Are we depriving him of something in life? And it really bothered me the whole day. So hear me out. If anyone has one child versus several, do you think there's a right or wrong? But then the next day, I came back to my senses and I was like, okay, maybe he does miss all of those things. Maybe he does. And that's okay. He can go through that. But then with one, you're everything. You're only focus. Obviously, they're spoiled rotten. But you get to experience the first and last through that one child.
Right.
So maybe all the things that we do for Jackson, maybe he wouldn't experience as much as he does now if we had multiple, or even the time that we're able to give him now, because this profession, along with a lot of professions, are very hard. So just time management to be able to spend that time with him.
I think that's a great way to look at it. I mean, you're getting to spend a lot of time, and the focus is on him, which we'll have to talk about that a little bit
We
after
will. We'll
we.
talk about that later. He is my little broke best friend, but he's my only. So he's going to get all of me and all the things that I can provide for him, along with a few switches as well. But that's okay. My next question for you: what's something that you have achieved
Hmm.
that you're not sure brought you the happiness that you expected?
Oh wow, that's deep.
Coach, I'm ready today.
That's
Let's
deep.
dive
That's
in. Hear me
really,
out,
really
listeners.
deep.
If you
What's
have
something?
anything, let us know. But until then, we'll wait for Coach Butts. Something that you've achieved that did not bring you the happiness that you expected.
did not bring me the happiness I expected. Honestly, this is a honest answer. I don't know that there's anything that I've done that I considered to be an achievement that I wasn't just completely blown away by the fact that I was able to get it done, that I accomplished it, and that it, things worked in my favor. I think, if I gotta really dig and I have to pick something, I would say only because of the way it ended, right? So it ended, but becoming a head coach was an achievement, and the fact that it wasn't all great, right? There's certainly some bad moments, and the fact that it ended. However, even with that, it still brought me an enormous amount of happiness and gratitude. I'm so grateful that it's just, I honestly cannot think of anything that I was like, oh my God, I reached this pinnacle, right? I became a Division I head coach. I was a Division I assistant coach, associate head coach, all of those things. I, completed some bucket list items. I became a basketball analyst. I, did those things. I became a real estate, got my real estate license. Like all of those things brought happiness to me, right? And so, and I think the level of success within each of those fields ultimately is not what I'm using to measure my happiness. And I think that's probably why I don't view it as, even when there's failures, there's something that this didn't provide me the feeling I thought it was going to provide me, or the emotional high I thought it was.
So, to answer that question, I think I would be in a line with you as far as, yes, we've reached the pinnacle in a lot of areas of our life. And it comes with disappointment, but I don't think it was a feeling that I didn't expect. It wasn't a letdown. Disappointments or
Right.
didn't turn out how I wanted it to turn out. But I think that's part of life where you learn and grow. But I agree. I don't think there's anything that I've achieved or went after that I'm like, oh, once I got there, it was like, it's not the
Right.
happiness that I expected. Ups and downs for sure, but there's also a lot of good and exciting moments and things that we will take with us for a lifetime. So I agree with that.
100%.
So for my Hear Me Out viewers, what accomplishments are you most proud of that no one would put on your resume? I want y'all to think about that. Hit us up and let us know. As we transition into the 94 feet, here we go. So we're going to do two editions today, Coach. We're going to do a basketball edition, and then we're going to do kind of like a fun
I'm down.
part. Okay, are you down? So 94 feet, if you know, you know. 94 feet of defense. We're bringing the heat to you right here. So, Coach, we're going to start with the basketball segment, which I think is so fitting right now during the playoffs. But before I get to it, when you think about the playoffs right now, who's your team? Who are you going for? And what are you seeing in these playoff games?
I am going for good basketball, period. I like both teams. I think they both have unique stories, things that you can relate to. Wembenyama, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Or either I'm butchering it. I have no idea. But Wemby, he is
Let's leave it there.
Phenomenal. But so are the other Spurs, right? You got Fox. You got that young boy Harper. He is fantastic. But also, the Knicks have a fantastic storyline. How about that? You got teammates, right? 3 of them in the starting lineup coming from the same college team in Villanova to be able to play at the highest level on the biggest stage in the biggest market, right? You got Mike Brown as a head coach getting an opportunity to be in that seat again and take his team to the NBA Finals. I think it's a story no matter who wins. It's such a phenomenal story to me if the Spurs win because they are so young. Wemby has taken the league. He has taken the league by storm. And I watch him. He is such a good teammate.
Great teammate.
He cheers for his team. He takes ownership and responsibility when he doesn't meet his own expectations and the expectations of others. I mean, everything about what he's exemplifying right now in these NBA finals and the playoffs in general is everything you want to see from a young, talented person who is also showing great character on the floor. So it's hard for me to cheer against that. But if the Knicks win, I would also be ecstatic.
Well, Wemby, while we're talking about him, unbelievable talent on the court. But if you have a chance to catch any of his interviews after, especially after he has come up short or feel like he has let his team down, I hope all student athletes and coaches could take notes of him holding himself accountable to the standard and how he, doesn't make excuses or blame others, and he's going to come back and put in the work the next game. A funny story about Wemby, I quickly showed Jackson some college pictures of myself. So I was like, oh, I want you to see mommy when she was in college. It happened to be a picture. I was holding my arms out playing defense, and he looked at me and he goes, "You have arms like Wemby."
Sticks.
That was his comparison. So, hey, that's a good one to be compared to as far as long arms. But I think you are right. It will be a story about both teams. However, it is hard for me not to root the Knicks on. Like, I want them to win because I love the energy in the city, how they have brought the city together, the crowd, the celebrities, and it will be the first time in 53 years.
It's a long time.
It's a long
great story.
time.
It is
a great story.
And Big Cat, that's another story.
A Kentucky guy.
He's and he's gone through a lot. He's played phenomenal.
He's played unbelievable
as well. But again, both teams. That's why I started with, I just want to see good basketball.
I want to see great basketball too. I hope it goes to 7 games. We need a game 7. Take us all the way through, but great basketball. But let's go Knicks. We're cheering for you over here. So our 94 feet, back to our original hot seat with Coach Butts in it first.
Let's get it.
Pick one or the other. Coach, be coachable. One or the other.
Okay.
Championship favorite or underdog story?
Ooh. Depends on if we're the favorite or not. Underdog.
Okay, I'm going for the underdog as well. Elite offender or elite defender, if you had to recruit one.
That's not even, you don't have to finish the statement. Elite defender. I am going to be looking at the elite defense, but sometimes when your offense is so good, well, we're seeing a lot of that in the NBA Finals. Elite offense means a lot.
Coach, I would normally say elite defender, but how the game is evolving and changing, I think I'm going to go with an elite offensive player and feel like I have the tools to get them in the right defensive position. You don't have to be stellar, but can you be serviceable?
I would agree. But I'm always going to be cheering for an elite defender.
I'm with you. I am too.
There's just something about the grit, the toughness, the physicality of someone who is just locked in and bought into defense and to saying, I am going to make this as tough as I can on you.
I agree. And I want all those things, but I don't want to go to the other end and we cannot score for and go on a scoring drought. So yes.
Got it.
40-point scorer or triple double machine?
Ooh. Yikes. Is it a low triple double or a high triple double?
Triple double.
Is it 10 points? 10, 40.
Triple double.
40 point score.
Ooh.
Give me a 40 point. Because if you can't, I need to know if it's a 20 point, a 20, 10, and 10. If it's a 10, 10, and 10, I mean, that's still great. But I need, there's 10 assists is leading to the points as well, but it's hard. When you got a 40-point score in your pocket, that's pretty dang good.
I think I'm going to go with the triple double machine because now I'm getting multiple things, whether it's assist, rebound, scoring, and then we can put the pieces around. Now, 40-point score.
If you got somebody that can go out on any given night and give you 40, I'm taking them, Coach. I understand the triple double. I understand it, but I got to take that offensive monster. I got to take it.
Okay. Win by 1 or blowout by 30?
Ooh, like you win either way, right?
You win either way. But do you want to win by 1 point or do you want it to be a blowout?
Somebody out. No, foot on neck, head in the headlock, body slam. Yeah, all of those things.
Yes, I want to blow out by 32. However,
I'll take by 1. But if you're asking my preference, I'd rather beat you down.
Yes, I would rather beat you down as well. But in this landscape, I'm going to take the win by 1 and keep stacking them because when you get to March, now it's a little different because the 30-point wins do matter tremendously.
Exactly. If I got a choice, right? But I don't care how I win. I just want to win. But I want to beat you down. I want to say some other thing.
You want to drag them by their ankle. I got you. Would you prefer a home court advantage or have the best player in the conference?
Best player in the conference.
All day long. I'm going to do the best player. I agree with that because if you have the best player, you can play at home or away and you have a chance to win. It does not matter. All right. Down to the personal and fun. I think I know the answers to these. However, beach vacation or mountain vacation?
Beach.
I am shocked.
Only because when are we going to the mountain? See, because you don't allow me to ask questions. So because I don't have any follow-up questions, I have to go with the sun, the climate, because you can go to the mountains and it can be cold, right? There could be snow. There could be all of these things. Take me to the beach.
I'm
not saying I want to get out and walk on the beach. I just want to be in the sun.
I am shocked because you do not like sun.
I like sun. This is a correction. I'm not trying to sit out in the sun and bake.
Yes.
Who wants to do that?
I do. And a lot of other people on this call. However,
she needs help, people.
To the people that look like us or have some melatonin in their skin, do you put on sunscreen?
Coach, I don't think it's melatonin.
Not melatonin. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about melatonin I'm going to take to tonight.
Put them to sleep. But
yes. I don't want to put you to sleep on the beach. Melanin in their skin. Yes, that is correct. Do you put on sunscreen?
Yes, of course. I definitely put on sunscreen now. I put on sunscreen then. Guys, okay, so this is real quick. I went on vacation to Mexico. This is years ago. This is 8 years ago to be exact. Maybe. Yeah, 8. And the sunscreen that I had was giving me this white / gray cast on my face. And it looked crazy. I looked like somebody had blown chalk in my face. I put on grease and then somebody blew chalk. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going out in public. So I put sunscreen everywhere but my face. I put it on my face, but it was like really light. And the Mexico sun is real different. And I was covered. I called myself under an umbrella, all of the things. By day 4, I looked like tired, I was black as tar. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, why didn't y'all tell me I was this dark? And everybody just looked at me and just busted out laughing. And
Yes.
I'm walking through the airport when we're returning home, and it is so bad, guys.
Well, let's tell the rest of the story.
About a month to get rid of that.
Let's tell the rest of the story. It wasn't a tan.
Charcoal.
But let's tell the rest of the story. You also thought you needed to go to the emergency room because something was wrong.
So dark.
And also, this is what you get because you were so worried about being casket ready looking because you were chalky gray that you didn't want to put on any sunscreen. So hear me out. If you have any color in your skin, do you put on sunscreen? If not, you should do so. Yes, because we can post pictures of Coach Butts when she did not. Okay, that was the moral of that story. Oh, I'm doing a beach vacation all day. Would you prefer to text or a phone call?
Again, I need some qualifiers, but in general, I would prefer to talk to you.
Yes.
But although text messaging is very convenient in some situations, but overall, in general, I would rather have a conversation because so much gets lost in text messaging.
Yes, I would agree with that. Phone call for me because, the text message, I could analyze that 550,000 ways in how you said it, the tone, and interpret what you were saying.
But the voice memos have really helped me. I like using those now.
You do.
I like them because it gives you tone. You can have more expression when you're sending a message. So I like the voice.
In the context.
And it's easier when you're driving.
Absolutely. Okay. I think I know this answer as well. Coffee or energy drink if you had to pick one?
Oh my gosh. I've never had an energy drink, so coffee.
Okay.
And I don't really drink coffee.
That's what I was about to get to.
I will drink it. I will drink coffee, but it's on occasion. I don't need it. I'm not a person where I wake up, oh my God, I hadn't had my coffee today. I am not that person, but I also have never had an energy drink.
Yeah, but Coach, your coffee is not like normal people. So to hear me out, viewers, listeners, her coffee is sugar and creamer with a splash of coffee. Okay. I don't drink either coffee or energy drink, but if I had to pick one, I would probably pick an energy drink over the coffee. Would you prefer to Uber everywhere or drive yourself?
Drive.
I agree. I want to drive myself. There's nothing wrong with Uber, but I would prefer to drive myself. A Netflix binge or go to a movie theater?
Oh, I love both. I love both.
One, Coach. One.
Netflix binge.
I would rather go to a movie theater. There's not too many shows that I just binge watch. Grey's Anatomy, maybe. I did binge watch that, but overall, that's it.
There are a lot of quality shows that you could watch and binge.
Do any of you all stay up and binge watch shows to 2 and 3 in the morning to get all the episodes in one season? If you do, let us know because there's someone on this call that does.
Guilty.
Anybody else?
Charged.
Let us know. Well, That concludes another episode of Hear Me Out. We want to leave you with this. Life isn't a race. Most people are making it up as they go, just like we shared today. What are you making up as you go? And stop comparing your timeline to everyone else's highlight reel. I'll leave you on that.
Great point.
Please subscribe, share, like, all the things. We'll see you again for another episode.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Ooh. Real talk, we don't play around. Hit that play. Let the truth come out.